Hey everybody, Left-Handed Flipper here, back with another Balisong tutorial for everyone. So this is going to be the third one in the series, and this is going to be going over chaplains. So first we're going to be going over a horizontal chaplain. It looks like this. It continues infinitely for as long as you can hold it, and it looks pretty cool, and you can continue it to a whole bunch of other things. So to start, you're going to need to get the blade into a position where you have your finger in between the dull edge of the blade and the safe handle. It can work either way, but the way it works best for me is that since I'm left-handed, the safe handle points towards my right side. You want it so that when you're spinning the blade, you want the knife spinning with the heavier part, which is the bite handle and the blade, behind the safe handle. You want the weight in the back, so that way it kind of keeps itself attached to your finger. So usually if you just do a double rollout, which by the way is this, if you didn't know, if you do a double rollout but you don't do the final throw, which is that, you're already in that position. So at this point, what you do is you bring it up and you start kind of, imagine like you have a band, like a bracelet or something like that on your finger, and you're just trying to twirl it. But what you have to do is you have to make sure that you're spinning it at the perfect speed and you're not going too fast or too slow, because if you go too fast, the blade will fall and you lose momentum. So you can keep it up, you can kind of pick up speed, but you just kind of keep your hand in a circular motion. Try to keep your finger ahead of the spin of the knife, because if you get behind, it slows down and it stops spinning. Another tip is to not just move your hand, but also move your finger like this, like you're making a circle, because that also helps keep the knife anchored to your hand. It does not cut, contrary to what people think, because it's the dull side of the blade. There's no way for it to cut you. Next, we're going to be going over a vertical chaplain. It looks like this. Okay, that was a bad idea. It looks like this. It looks pretty cool. It's a lot harder than the horizontal chaplain in that instead of having a constant gravity, because you're going horizontally parallel with the ground, you're going vertically, so you have to do more of an oval-shaped momentum or motion in order to keep the knife centered on your finger. So you just do a double rollout like before, but instead of bringing it up to go into a horizontal position, you go into a vertical position like this. There are not as many uses as for the horizontal chaplain, but it looks pretty flashy, and it can be combined with a aerial to turn into an aerial to chaplain, which looks like this. I will explain how to do that in a later video, but that's it for the vertical chaplain. Next, we're going to be going over the zero gravity chaplain. This is an integral part to multiple combos, such as the behind the 8-ball, the other combos that people make. Behind the 8-ball primarily, because that's a very common combo that people do. It looks like this. The gist of it is that you're trying to keep the knife underneath your hand, almost like a horizontal chaplain, but nothing like it. You're trying to keep it horizontal to the ground, but you're not doing this. You're not having it above your hand, it's below. So you have to basically keep your hand in a position like this, and you have to get into this position by either doing a single throw and then putting your index finger in the way, or doing a triple rollout and then getting your index finger in the way. It's easier, in my opinion, to do triple, because you get more momentum and you have more time to prepare for the move. It's a lot harder than any of the previous chaplains that I've shown, in that it takes a lot of momentum to keep it from falling or getting out of rotation. One trick that I found on YouTube that isn't shown that much is, instead of trying to time your rotations, one, you need to make sure that it's an oval shape and not a circle, because an oval helps hook it in and then hook it back in. And then the second thing is that first, when you don't have the motion proper, then you just try to do this and spin it around your finger. And this is the perfect way to learn what the motion feels like without actually doing it. And if you gradually pick up speed, you can get into it. And that's what happens when you do it too slow. That's the gist of the zero gravity chaplain. You can do it with all of your fingers, except it's really hard for like the pinky and the thumb. Here's the middle finger. I cannot do the ring finger that easily, and I cannot do the pinky, except kind of, but as you can see, not really. It's hard to do. It relies a lot on timing, finger motion. You still have to cook it at points in order to keep it up, and momentum. As far as I can recall, there's no other types of chaplains. There's the thumb chaplain, which is just it on your thumb. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's kind of hard to accomplish. There's a walking chaplain, which is where you spin it on like your middle finger, which is the same as your index finger, and then while you're spinning it, you transition from your middle to your index. Not very useful, but looks kind of flashy at times. I think that's it. Thanks for watching.